You go from here. Do you have anything from the NFL?
I haven't heard anything from the NFL.
Okay, let me think back to what I've heard from the NFL. Pretty much nothing. Right. There will be no off-site training camps this year for NFL teams. So, for us, the Buffalo Bills go to...
Not
Roberts Wesley.
St. John Fisher.
For us, the Buffalo Bills go to St. John Fisher College out in Pittsburgh, and they do their training camp there. And I've never went, actually.
I've been twice.
We
were going to go this year.
I've always wanted to go. I made plans to go this year because I could, and it sucks because now they're not doing it. And I understand the logic behind it. It's just kind of something that's a little annoying. But I understand. On top of that, coaches are allowed back into the facilities now, and players are allowed to start working out officially with other players, even though most of them have been doing that already unofficially.
Yeah, I'm sure they have.
Cole Beasley, I'm just specifically talking about the Bills now. Cole Beasley has put out a message about the recent weeks. I do not have it queued up.
Oh, jeez. Oh, give me a second. I can't. Anywho, I know the whole thing about the NFL and
The
Do we go there?
The NFL and what?
The whole
Yeah, if you want to go there.
The whole movement of the Black Lives Matter with the recent of the you know what? I don't know if it really. The whole Black Lives Matter movement. I'm just gonna leave it there because I don't want to get too deep into this, and I don't want to have any controversies. I just want to talk about how the sports moved into this.
Okay.
Because they had the whole Black Lives Matter thing with Goodell and a bunch of the players like Prescott, Zeke, and Michael Thomas. Oh, Drew Brees.
Oh, Drew. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did we talk about this already?
No, we didn't talk about Drew Brees.
So Drew Brees, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I know he got a lot of hate.
He mentioned it had to do with Colin Kaepernick's kneeling during the national anthem, and how he felt that disrespected the American flag and everything.
Right.
Unfortunately, he was kind of forced to give an apology.
See the I'm
not going to put it any other way. He was pretty much forced to.
He had to say sorry because a bunch of players were even at him for it. I'm not going to say anything about it. Okay. And then the whole thing behind Colin Kaepernick about how people think he should come back, this and this. He needs money. I don't know if I want. He did what he did. That's a protest. He did whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to say a word about it.
That part is fine. People have talked about it for the edge of time. In fact,
it's been 4 years.
That former Seahawks long snapper, I think he was a Seahawks long snapper.
Yes, it was.
The staff sergeant. His name's Nathan something.
Yeah, it was Nathan something.
Whatever. He went to Texas A&M while serving in Afghanistan. Became the long snapper for the Aggies. Or no, they're not the Aggies, but are they Texas A&M?
You're right.
Okay. Became the long snapper for the Aggies and later walked on to the Seattle Seahawks. I think he only played in
He played preseason.
He played one preseason game,
and then I think
he either got cut or stayed on the roster for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Beside the point, he sent a letter to Colin Kaepernick and was like, "Listen, I'm not going to stop you from kneeling, but I just ask that maybe I stand with you in my uniform and just show that
it's okay,
it's all right, and we have your respect."
And that's what happened.
And that's all I'm going to say for Colin Kaepernick in that matter. However, boy done fucked up. Because he had an opportunity to try out for a lot of coaches.
Many coaches.
And I think like a day or two before changed the practice facility location. And we've all heard this story before. Which was completely unapproved, and it's part of the reason why he's still not in the NFL right now. So, Colin,
sorry, buddy.
Fix yourself. I don't know.
Fix yourself. You deserve. I'm not gonna say you deserve a spot, but I believe you could earn a spot
while yes, you have the talent.
You have the talent. You could be a backup.
No. He could start.
Where?
He has the talent.
He could start on some of the teams that don't have a quarterback. He could probably start in Detroit.
He could start in Detroit. He could start in Arizona. Because he's
100%.
better than Kyler Murray.
He's a midget. He's Yoda.
But you also have to not be foolish about NFL rules and regulations. Like, you had this tryout, but you decided to change the venue to like a high school field because it was more of your liking. That's just not going to fly with the NFL. That's not a
good idea, smart idea. I don't know.
Oh my God, no, that's not a Please talk while I figure it out.
Let him figure that out. Anywho,
oh, I found it.
You found it.
That's not a controversial opinion. That's just the truth.
It's fact.
You changed the venue unapproved like a day before, and no one showed up.
That's the media showed up.
The media showed up to say that NFL is blackballing him because he changed the venue, which is true because you changed the venue unapproved.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, before I get off the wheels too much.
Shoo. Next topic.
I have nothing for the MLB right now. Besides that,
all I've heard is the draft, which I don't know. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not an MLB fan.
I follow the NFL draft and barely at that.
Yeah.
For the NHL, I got
nothing. I know they're bringing them back with the playoffs.
Yeah, we mentioned that last time. On top of that, I don't know if you want to share a story or not go on a rant like we just kind of did.
I mean,
how long have we been recording?
What are we at?
We're at 22 minutes on top of 16 and 3. So 19 plus 22. 9 plus 2 is 1. Carry the 1, 41.
That's pretty good. Shoot. I just want sports back. Everything's kind of slowly opening up and everything.
New York's entered Phase 3, which is good news for anyone who's a fan of Watkins Glen and the road course, because we're getting closer to having fans, and we still got months. Still almost two. We're still 2 months out of the
race.
Out of the race. So, with that being said, thank you for tuning into the Sports Commute. Let me run through my little spiel.
Hey.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter at @the_sportscom, Instagram at @the_sports_commute, YouTube at the Sports Commute, Snapchat at @the_sportscom. If you want to check out the Miller Lite Cup series, which before I go on, we haven't really done much with the Miller Lite Cup series as of late.
I don't know what's going on with that.
We're
gonna hold that off for a while. We don't know what's going on. If we knew, we'd let you know. But like, we've been wanting to have races for weeks, and I don't think anybody said a word.
Yeah, it's not so much as it is like it's not like it's a big deal. It's just
it's something fun and extra we wanted to do. We wanted to bring back our racing series, but right now I don't know what's going on.
And it could just be put on hold. We
got nothing
sure right now. I mean, who knows? But if you wanted to check out the past races of the Miller Lite Cup series, you can check it out on our website, which will be in the link of this YouTube video. You can check it out in the bio of our Twitter or the bio of the Miller Lite Cup series, which I believe is at
Miller Lite Cup.
At Miller Lite Cup, similarly to Instagram. And finally, we have, I think I already mentioned Snapchat actually.
Yeah.
So I think we're all. Oh wait. Check out Preston Prue Motorsports at Preston Prue Motors, and I believe it's Preston _ Motors, Preston _ Prue Motors.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Something on Twitter. So thank you for joining.
Yeah. All right, here we are.
All right. Oh, fuck! I gotta turn the volume up, man. I can't hear shit. Hey, how you doing?
What's up?
All right. So, Pretty much, we just want to interview you for today, see what it's like behind the scenes of a NASCAR spotter here.
10-4.
All right, and if you want to, before we let you go at the end of it, if you want to shout out any message or whatever, we'll give you some time to do that.
Appreciate it.
All right. We wanted to thank you for being patient as well with our few delays.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. You want to do the intro? You can do it. All right. Don't shut up. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Sports Commute. I'm Dan, joined by Matt as always, and we got a guest today with us. The spotter for the number 43 Richard Petty Motorsports Chevrolet, Freddie Kraft. Excuse me. How you doing today?
Good. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good. Good. All right. So we just wanted to get in your head a little bit about what's it like to be a spotter, and how everything goes. So I'll let Matt kick it off.
Well, my first question was, how did you really start being into the NASCAR and like all the racing, just being a spotter?
So when I was a kid, my whole family raced. My dad, my uncle, my cousins, they were all involved in racing on Long Island. So I started. I was born basically at the racetrack. I was at the racetrack every week watching my dad from the time I was born till he only retired. I don't know, 10 years ago or so. So just had that in my blood forever. And then I raced for a little while. Didn't have the time or the money really to put into it to do it right. So decided to start helping people spotting at the local track, and then just kind of work my way up the levels from there. I spotted for about, 15, 20 years before I ever got all the way up to the Cup Series.
All right. I know you did mention you did some time as a dirt driver, yeah. I was just wondering if you'd ever, raced against someone, possibly another spotter in the Cup Series or something like that, because I know Eddie DeHaan down on Long Island was a dirt racer as well.
You guys breaking up a little bit, but I think you just asked if I raced against anybody. I haven't raced against any of the spotters. I was just 3 or 4 years at the local level, but never against. But there's a bunch of us up there that raced. I think it's a big deal to have a spotter that has at least been in a race car and kind of knows, what a driver can see, what a driver can hear while they're in there. So I think that plays a huge part into our job.
So you said your family started with the racing and everything. What made you stick with it?
Just like I said, it was just my whole life, really. I mean, I didn't really, when I was growing up, it was, get ready. My dad be working on the car, or the guys be working on the car at the house, and I'd be in the garage watching them or helping them. And then, just getting ready for Sunday to go to the track. I wasn't the normal, I didn't go out to the high school parties and stuff, or, middle school, whatever it was. I was at the racetrack every Saturday night. So it just, that was just my whole life. And then kind of realized, this is obviously what I love. And they say if you do what you love for a living, you'll never work a day in your life. And it's just something that I always loved to do. And then to just get paid to do it on top of it seemed like a no-brainer to me.
All right, sure. So you're the spotter for Bubba Wallace. Have you been with him through his whole career, or did you kind of join up with him in Xfinity, or?
So no, I've been with Bubba. This is our 10th year now together. He ran a little bit of legend cars. He ran some late model stuff, and got a deal with Joe Gibbs Racing, and that turned into a deal with Revolution Racing back in the day. But I've been with Bubba ever since he started running the National Touring Series. The K&N Series was our first time together. And then I was with him in truck. I was with him in Xfinity. I've been obviously with him in Cup now. So we've been together. I think we took 1 year off in the last 10 years. I went to a different team, and he was at Gibbs doing something. So, but we've been together pretty much ever since.
All right. All right. Well, I got a couple more questions for you. Do you have any? I've been trying to figure out how to word this correctly. Do you have any behind the scenes stories that you'd be willing to share?
No, not really. I mean, we don't tell too many stories of the road there, but I don't really. a lot of people get the misconception that like you're tight with your driver or something, and you're spend every weekend with them, and it's just obviously I've been with Bubba for a long time, and we get together, we have parties at his house, parties at my house, but it's not. I mean, it's probably 4 or 5 times a year. It's not something that we're doing, spending a lot of time together on the road. Once in a while we'll grab a dinner together or something like that. But there's nothing too crazy that goes on that I wouldn't be able to tell you guys about.
All right. Well, so you obviously are employed by Richard Petty Motorsports because that's the team that the 43 is under. I'm assuming you've met Richard Petty at least once because you worked there.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Him and Dale, 2 old men just wandering around, looked like they're lost all the time, but they're all right.
So, obviously, I'm sure you introduced yourself and everything. Were you like, what was kind of your first impression? Like, how did that conversation go?
So the first impression I had of the whole deal was obviously I got hired to do Bubba. It's kind of one of the deals. Bubba brought me with him, so I didn't really know anybody on the team. So I get the itinerary for the Daytona 500, which is the first race we go to, and they've got me in a rental car with Richard Petty and Dale Inman, and I'm like, oh God, like I feel like I'm way out of place. It's just hit me who I'm working for now. So, but yeah, them guys, they treat you like you're anybody else. They come in, give me a hard time about something I said on the radio, or I'll give them a hard time about being 100 years old. So, it's just give and take. They're just like anybody else.
All right. Now I got a bit of a lighter side question here. So you're up in the spotter stand there. You're all kind of grouped around together, watching the cars out there. I got a couple questions about the spotter stand there. First, have you ever lost your car before in the field?
Oh yeah. Anybody that tells you they haven't is a liar. But yeah, it's and what happens is you kind of look, you look for something else. You see a guy get sideways or something on the other side of the racetrack. So it kind of, or what happens a lot of times is the fans, when their fans are there, they point at something, or they're like, oh, look at that. So then you see that, you look over there, and then you come back, and we got a different paint scheme every week. So you're like, oh, what color am I looking for? So you lose your car momentarily. But yeah, that's happened in the Cup races before, and I also did the Rolex 24 a couple years ago, and it happened once an hour. Where's my car? It's so, like, from what we're used to doing, the Cup races, they're way more intense than a strung out road race where you're just up there making sure you guys in wreck for 4 hours, and it's like you zone off into the Ferris wheel, and you're like, oh God, where's my weight? Oh, uh-oh. And it's the middle of the night. You have no idea where your car's at. So you have your buddies next to you. You see my car? Has anybody seen my car? So it usually takes you about a lap to find it, but it works out okay.
All right. Well, other question I have is like, so under caution, or maybe if you're on a little bit of a break there, there's not much doing. You're up in the spotter stand. You ever just walk over to one of them spotters there and have a casual conversation about, like, I don't know, what you're doing after the race or whatever?
No, never that. We go down and yell at each other quite a bit, or get on each other's case, but never just a casual convo. Usually try to stay as involved as you can, but it's all them guys up there, and I try to explain this to people. You're tight with all the spotters. You're tighter with most of the spotters than you are the guys that work on your own team, because you have to, that's who you work with. That's who you see. You're not in the garage all the time. You're in the roof with these other guys. So it's a weird dynamic for us compared to the other guys who, you're really close with, the front end mechanic and the car chief, and them guys are really tight because they're always together. Now we're with different team members, all the spotters from different teams. So it's weird. You go out to dinner and you'll see 4 or 5 spotters from different teams hanging out. Whereas, you look at another table and it's all one team road crew. So, it's kind of a different dynamic for us where all the spotters kind of get along pretty well for the most part.
All right. Hell, I had all these in my head. Now they're kind of fading. Right. So, after you kind of realized that driving really wasn't going to be your thing, did you immediately set on spotting, or did you have something else in mind?
No, I really just wanted to. I felt like spotting was the best way to still play a part in the race. You know what I mean? And I held some buddies out with, I had a buddy of mine, Jared Hayes, That's the first guy I spotted for. He was a late model, but at the time when I decided to do this, he was in a street stock car basically, and they didn't have spotters. So you're on the crew and you're helping out, but you don't have the same feeling like you're involved in the race where you're just sitting there watching. So then when it's something that I've always told my dad what he did wrong every Sunday morning after a race. So I felt like if I spent my whole life watching races, I knew the stuff to do to tell them that the right stuff. I felt like. So then when it came time to do it, I just jumped on with my buddy, and he said I was pretty good at it, and then just kind of worked my way up from there.
All right. So you mentioned you're from Long Island, and your Twitter there says you're a diehard New York sports fan. So now I gotta question you. Which New York sports fan are you?
So I'm a huge hockey fan. So I'm a big Rangers fan, huge baseball fan, Mets, Giants fan, Knicks fan. So basically, love to be tortured between the Mets and the Knicks and everybody else. The Rangers, Giants have had a little success here lately, but yeah, just die hard, man. Can't help myself. I don't know. Hopefully, hockey season. Rangers somehow snuck in the playoffs, so maybe we'll make a little bit of noise there. Who the hell knows what's going to happen and when they start back up. But, yeah, just, man, I love sports. I can talk sports all day long just as much as racing. But, man, I'm ready for it to get back. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, we're sitting up here in upstate New York. We're both Bills fans. So.
Well, you're the only team that plays in New York, so that's good.
Fair enough. That's the first Giants fan to admit that to me. There you go. All right. So you mentioned that you spotted for the Rolex 24. Would you consider that to have been your? I don't really want to say favorite because that kind of sounds a little off. But like, what's the most memorable race that you spotted?
Probably just that first Daytona 500. I would say it sticks out a lot. The Rolex was just kind of something I wanted to do, just to say I did it. You know what I mean? It's kind of a challenge. You're spotting for 12 hours of the 24. So to me it was an interesting deal where you do 4 hours and you go quick take a nap for 4 hours, come back to another 4. So you got 3 different shifts, and it was just something that I always wanted to try. I don't know that I'd ever do it again. I only did it once and was dead tired by the time it was over, so it wasn't a whole lot of fun. But I probably tried again in a couple of years. But yeah, just the big cup races. That's what you watched growing up as a kid. So to be part of the Daytona 500 or go to the Brickyard. I mean, even, winning truck races with Bubba at Martinsville's big. So, you can relate anything to the bigger races. But I'd say that probably that first Daytona 500 was probably the biggest awe-inspiring race of my career.
Do you have any future plans possibly to branch out into other motorsports besides what you've come from and where you are now?
No, hopefully we're still rocking and rolling here for quite a while, and I can stay with Bubba, and we get some funding and keep our deal with the 43 or wherever else we could go. Obviously we've been together for so long. I'd hate to split that up, but yeah, just plan on staying as long as possible. If that goes away, maybe there's another option somewhere else. IndyCar's got spotters. The IMSA Sports Car Series has spotters. So kind of painted myself in a corner here. I'm going to have to spot as long as I can and then see what happens. But, yeah, and hopefully just ride this NASCAR train as long as I can.
All right. I had 1 or 2 left, and I'm going to try and see if I can remember them real quick. Right. So, being as you are a spotter, you don't really. I don't know if this is going to offend you. I don't see a lot of spotters getting the recognition that they really should. I'm going to put it that way. Because we've been to NASCAR races, we've listened to that radio, and the main conversation is usually just the spotter telling you where to go and which way is what. So, have you ever been on TV or nothing, not like Fox, like NASCAR or anything, but just to kind of spread a message or be interviewed, kind of like what we're doing here?
I didn't hear the first part of your question. I'm sorry. No, I heard most of it. Just I didn't hear it right before Fox and stuff.
All right. So it was like obviously you're on Fox and NBC and FS1 because NASCAR. But have you ever been on a different television program for promoting a message or being interviewed or anything like that?
No, we've done some TV spots. Obviously, we have our own podcast that we do with Dirty Mo, and just do some TV spots here and there. Me and Bubba, they want to throw you on an interview or something, just to talk about your relationship. But yeah, never really branched out to anything. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, obviously, but just try to do as much as I can. Jump on with you guys. I did an interview yesterday with another podcast. Just kind of try to bring awareness to the sport. Just get out there and talk to as many people as you can, and get people watching NASCAR, man. Right now we're the only sport going, so should be driving these ratings through the roof, and just try to get the word out and try to get people watching.
Sure. I think that's about it. So, yeah. Do you have anything you'd like to say before we cap this off? Or?
No, I'm all good, man. Appreciate you guys having me on. Like I said, just hopefully we get some fans back soon. Sounds like it's kind of in the works. Next couple races, maybe trickling some fans in here and there, and just going to be state by state basis who lets us do what. But right. Hopefully we see fans back soon. If not, hopefully everybody's tuning in, watching the races. Plenty of racing going on, and just cheer that 43 on. We need all the help we can get.
Oh, yeah. Well, not our main cars, but I seen Bubba up top 5 Wednesday. I was rooting for him.
Yeah, me too.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, and you have a good rest of your day. We'll wish you luck for Sunday.
Appreciate it. See you guys later.
See you.
Take care.
15 minutes, not bad.
That was fun.
I pulled those questions out of my ass.
Go.
Yeet. All right, are you recording?
I'm recording.
Okay. Holy shit, it's only June 12th and I've used up most of my data.
Oh shit, okay.
That's my entire
You need the
family.
Wi-Fi?
No, I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. It's my entire family. We all got the same text message.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yay, back to the news.
I need to think of positive things right now. My dad doesn't have the Rona. That was a thing.
What? When was this a thing, dog?
Earlier this week.
What the hell?
My dad didn't go to work, and I was just like,
Dad, what's going on?
I was like, Dad, why aren't you at work? And he came down in just underwear, and he was like, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark, and then went back to bed. And that was 3 days ago. And then my mom took him to go get tested.
Oh no.
They stuck a cotton swab into his fucking brainstem.
Paralyzed.
and then sent him home, and he doesn't have the Rona.
Yay.
Which is good, because if he did, I wouldn't have been able to do this.
No, that is true.
We would have had to go on Zoom. I would have had to chill in Lucas's room. Use his microphone.
He's a microphone?
Yeah, no.
I had to buy one.
I have a microphone, because I bought it. But he uses it because it doesn't work with phones.
Okay.
Alright.
You can start.
I wasn't gonna record all of that.
It's on the YouTube.
Yeah, but those are bloopers.
Oops.
You can put that entire
Segment?
the entire last segment unless you deleted it already.
Oh, it's in there. I'm just gonna keep rolling.
You can put that on. All right. Welcome back. If you're still here, you just heard my little rant about Dave Portnoy and Total Pro Sports. And while we were gone, I should have taken the time to look up his name.
Oh.
But it's Mike something. The best guy on Total Pro Sports.
Yeah, 1 second.
I follow him on Twitter too, which is weird, but I don't remember his name. Anyways, while Matt's looking that up, I'm going to dive into the news here. We'll start with NASCAR.
Mike Cantalupo?
Mike Cantaloupe, yes. Mike Cantaloupe. That's who I was trying to refer to. Anyways, we'll start with NBA. Because they finally got their heads out of their asses.
Wait, did you delete it?
Yes, I deleted all of that.
Cool, let me go back on Twitter.
While Matt's searching for it, again, pretty much, the NBA stopped just kind of twiddling their thumbs, and they developed a plan to come back in July. I'll let Matt take it from
July
here.
30th to be exact. July 30th through August 14th is the seeding games. August 15th through 16th is the play-in tournament. August 17th, the playoffs finally begin. Wait, why? Why would they? Oh wait, that makes no sense. Oop. Yeah, it does make sense. Okay. August 30th, family and guests of family arrive. August 31st to the 13th is the conference semifinals. September 15th through the 28th is the conference finals. September 30th through October 13th is the NBA finals. Okay, fine, understandable, but I mean,
So they're going to allow 22 teams back into the season.
22 teams. 13,
13 from the west, and
9 from the east.
Which doesn't make any plausible sense. In my mind, you could have 2 teams from the west battling it out for the NBA Finals.
No, that's right though, because there's only 8 seeds in the playoffs per side. So those. Oh Jesus.
You don't know 22
Math.
minus 16?
No math. The 5 extra teams that are battling for that 8th spot, I guess, or that other spots in the playoffs. I don't know. It's confusing. They need to figure it out.
Look, man, how many teams are going to be left from the east?
18. I mean, what? 1. I just threw in a number, dog. It was 1.
It was not
1.
plus 10.
89, dog. 1. So 1 team out of those, whatever amount, will not make it. Okay.
So, I think that's it for
NBA. I haven't
NBA.
heard much about the NBA.
We'll jump into NASCAR real quick.
Yep.
As you might have heard from Freddie Kraft, excuse me, the mailman's pulling up. As you might have heard from Freddie Kraft, NASCAR is going to allow fans, or start to allow fans back into the tracks. Starting with Homestead, although that doesn't really count because they are honored guests. I believe they're actually servicemen and frontline workers.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it counts, but it doesn't. It counts, but it doesn't because they're not actual. Alright, I need to choose my words very carefully. I can't say they're not actually fans because they probably are, but they're not paying customers.
True.
So it doesn't technically count as a fan allowed race to me.
No.
However, Talladega, which I believe is the week after that,
Yes.
will allow up to 5,000 fans in its walls for the, what is it, the 1,000 light bulbs, 500?
I guess.
Whatever it is. And then we go to the week after, which is Pocono and...
Oh no!
It's Pocono and...
You want to
Well,
go
it's
there.
Pocono and Pocono.
Pocono, Saturday, Sunday. A
However,
race that we are very confused about ever since the start.
however, those races won't have fans, according to Pocono. In an early
no.
report suggesting that Pocono wasn't going to have fans, but I don't know what's happening there.
Oh no!
And on top of that, NASCAR has been getting a lot more viewers. Specifically Wednesday
Yes.
at Martinsville.
Those are nice.
Wednesday at Martinsville, where who was it? Truex?
True hacks.
Truex took the checkered flag, which was just a poor showing by anyone who raced, besides Toyotas. Fucking. Excuse me, my anger Tourette's came out. I believe. Well, NASCAR gained a few more celebrity viewers that night, such as LeBron James,
What?
Jamal Adams, I want to say, and Richard Sherman.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And that was due in part because Bubba Wallace
Oh, that's right.
had a big promotion about him running his Black Lives Matter car, which was shouted out by LeBron, Jamal Adams, and Richard Sherman, as well as many others that I just can't remember.
I don't know many others.
because it was Wednesday and today's Friday,
Correct.
and a lot has happened since.
Oh God. Yeah.
And I think it was kind of nice to see that NASCAR shared that openly. Mike Joy answered a couple of these guys' questions because they didn't really understand. Like one of them, it wasn't any of the 3 that I mentioned. It was some other name that I don't remember. One of them asked if under caution, like, can you improve your position or can you lose position?
Yes.
And that was answered on air. I thought that was pretty cool to see.
See, that's what we gotta do. Introduce the fans on. Because if you want to keep the fans, you gotta let them know what they're watching. I've heard this on, I don't remember what video it was. Watching NASCAR is like watching golf. The more you know about it, the more fun it is. The less you know about it, the more stupid it looks. Like a lot of people I know, NASCAR, left turn, left turn, left turn. No, it's really not.
It's a bunch of left turns and a couple crashes.
Very true. Lots of strategies and everything comes into play. Lots of things come into play. Like we just started playing golf. I used to think golf was stupid. Golf was not fun. Anytime it'd come on TV, I'd be like, turn that crap off, crap like that. And then I started to understand it, and it just became fun to me. Like,
I mean, I still like don't completely understand
Right.
it. I just understand how to like hit the ball far
Fuck.
enough. Oh my god!
Keep
Did it
talking.
stop the recording?
no,
Perfect.
good.
All right. I don't like understand the logistics of golf. Like there are some stupid rules. Like if you don't sign your scorecard, that's an added stroke.
I
That
never
is
knew
that
that.
is a real thing.
You don't sign it?
If you watch SB Nation, they'll look up weird rules, and if you don't sign your scorecard, because pro golfers have to do their own scorecards,
Understandable.
it's an added stroke on top of their score.
Interesting.
But similarly, I don't think I've fully explained why I actually watch NASCAR.
Right.
When I started watching, like I've mentioned before, I was in 9th grade. It was 4 years ago, and my dad and I were sitting on a couch on February 16th, I want to say, something like that.
Had to be because
I think it was
what year was this?
2016.
Okay, I was there, so
I think it was.
I have the ticket.
It was like the
inside.
third. It was the second or third week in February. I know that. I just can't remember the specific date. It was the 16th or the 18th. Doesn't matter.
I don't know because I was there.
And, well, we were just kind of bored. My dad goes, "Hey, want to watch the Daytona 500?"
Sure.
I'd never watched NASCAR before in my life. Little did I know that I would then be talking to NASCAR spotters for a podcast,
And talking to and
And
some random guys,
talking
like
talking to some YouTubers,
some
and-
big people about
Yeah,
sports we love.
But so it started as, I'll see what this is about, and I watched all of the Daytona 500.
Me too.
Shut up, you were looking the wrong way. My dad fell asleep, and he woke up, and I was still just like, this is fucking awesome.
Right.
Because it was the 2016
No,
Daytona
here's the
500.
problem. That wasn't the big crash one. That Daytona 500 had about 2, 3
Chase, Dale, Danica. And then I think there was one big one.
I don't remember the big one.
And then Kenseth hit the wall.
at the end,
at the
and
end, the
Dennison
closest
stole
finish,
it from
yeah.
True Hex.
And I just thought, that's really cool, but fuck Toyota.
We all hate Toyota.
And that's how I chose Chase Elliott to be my favorite driver, because it was his rookie year,
My rookie.
and it was my rookie year of watching NASCAR. So I was just like, well, I don't want to choose Dale because that's too much of a fucking that's too much of a fucking simp move. Or whatever the word was.
It wasn't a word at the time. Fanboy.
I guess, because at the time
Because he was the most popular driver
yeah,
at the time.
at the time when I was growing up, I used to have little Matchbox cars with
Me too.
fucking
I still do
with like
too.
the numbers on them, and
Mhm.
I knew Jimmy Johnson, I knew Dale Sr., I knew Dale Jr., and I knew Jeff Gordon. Little did I know that 3 of them were on the same team. And then I was just like, well,
What? Oh, okay, never mind. I'm retarded. Sorry. I was like, wait a minute,
Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, and Dale Jr.
I thought I completely forgot about Dale Jr. I'm like, wait, Dale Sr. wasn't on the team.
He was dead.
He was dead.
So, and then I started gaining my machining background further and further. That was the year that I started actually doing some machining, and still what I do.
Right.
Technically, right now I'm like not working at a machine shop, but it's
The
also summer,
Home DP.
it's also summer break for
Yeah.
for college. So,
It's basically summer break for us too. The year's over, and
but so now I see it as a mechanical standpoint of the slightest edge. As a machinist, we work in thousandths of an inch, so the thousandth of an inch could be the difference between first and second, or making the pass or not.
Very true. Very true.
How you form the body there, and I see it for more of a, I don't want to say scientific, for more of a it's kind of hard to think a physics standpoint.
It is
I'll
basically
put it that way.
physics. It's a whole physics project, basically.
And I that's kind of what's keeping me interested now is the physics behind it and how teams adapt to these new environments and the 8-inch spoiler, which is fucking dumb.
No, what do you mean? My favorite spoiler was on the Dodge Daytona. That was the best.
It was. Okay. It's 4 feet tall. It's not
That
to
was just
luggage.
retarded. Are you kidding me?
But no. The thing that makes it the best spoiler is that back when the Charger came out, the Charger Daytona,
It was a real car.
It was a rule in NASCAR that it had to be
Production.
a real for-sale car, and it had to be the exact same. So
What race
Dodge and Chrysler sold a car
that had a 4.
to people that had a 4.5 foot spoiler on the back,
What wins on Sunday, sells on Monday.
and people bought those.
People bought these. So you could tell miles away that someone would be coming because you'd see that big ass spoiler. That's
why the wing. That's why I think that
the big ass wing.
That's why I think it's the best.
It's great. You can't go wrong with it.
But so, I mean, on top of that, that's pretty much all I got
For what, NASCAR?
for NASCAR.
I mean, dope.
What did I forget? Do you have to write it down?
Probably.
Oh my god. All right.
Just
I need to keep you entertained because we didn't plan this out as much as we used to.
that whole
Oh
thing.
right, yeah. You could have just,
I didn't.
said-
I
You could have just came out and said that NASCAR
Okay,
is
fine.
banned.
Well, I was gonna
Um,
say the whole story.
Well, if you want to.
I don't know the whole story, but I know
Okay.
little bits of it.
Are you talking about the driver that resigned?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait,
So-
no. Yes and no.
Okay.
It's both of them.
So,
We're talking about-
early Wednesday before the Martinsville race, NASCAR came out and said that they are going to ban the Confederate flag from all future events and anything on NASCAR properties.
Yes.
Which upset a lot of people.
Sure. Okay.
Which is fair.
Yes.
I need to say this without completely ending our careers. Because those people that use the flag don't see it as a symbol for just racism and slavery.
They use it. because
It's
they're-
actually, there's a deeper meaning behind it that I'm not going to get into, and you'd need to research if you want
Yes.
to learn more.
No, let's not get to politics.
But that's
and
one
that's
thing.
that.
On top of that, some low-tier driver that
He a
I
Camping World Truck. He was
I
a
don't
Camping
even-
World Truck Series driver, I guess.
I don't even know who he is. I think it's Ray Ciccarelli. Is that his name?
I've never heard of him.
I
That might
I
have
think
been
I've heard of him once or twice. He has officially stepped down from NASCAR because of this move.
That's so dumb.
Which, I mean, kudos to a man for sticking behind his morals.
Sure. Great.
That's fine.
You just lost out on whatever the money you would have gotten
You had a good opportunity
to earn money, to do what you have, and do this, but you decide to not to because of one thing. I mean, sure.
Yeah, but I mean, that's where I'm gonna
Big-
stand with it. Kudos to him for sticking to his morals, but to me, I think it's a bad move.
Yep.
Anything else for NASCAR?
Well, I know the Truex won on Wednesday. That's something.
Brad won on Sunday.
That's it. That's been
Was
the
it?
week.
Was it? No, it was Harvick. Excuse me, because he did a Polish victory lap and did his 3 salute.
It's fine. It's only 10%.
Oh my god.
We'll be fine. Once it dies, it dies.
Okay, then we'll just okay.
You know what?
Backup camera just in case.
Yeah.
All right.